Journeyman League Virtual. I'm your host, Game Mongoose. In this premier season, we're going to go through some of our drivers and teams here. In fact, all of them. Evolve Racing, the first team on the docket. The junior team, 2 Butterlords, VLO and SLV. F35, brand new driver, and Kato from SLV and Pacific League. And Formula E, spending himself 4 tokens on this one. F35 putting in 1. They failed their speed upgrade. Initiation Roja, the junior team, 2 Kamikazes, Toro Rojo, Talento Rojo, in the CLV. Succeeding on a speed upgrade, the Andrian and Yoshi Josh, all the way down from SLV last year, in fact, not retiring, as we heard in the SLV race. Not putting anything into this one. Scott Pilato, owned by Cubo, the junior team, to Matessa. UR2D Master spending a token, and Matthew spending none. They failed their upgrade today, which was supposed to be going for Turbo. Inferno Motorsports, owned by Phoenix, the junior team, to his SLV team, succeeding in acceleration. Zane and Arcaniac, 1 and 2 tokens spent respectively. On this race, they're going to be looking for points today, as not many spending in the opening race. Fast Racing, owned by the Anti-Amazing, they were failing on an acceleration today. Buddha and Celeste Lucier, the racers, for them spending 4 and 3 respectively. Definitely going to be a big take for FFR today. DeMonk Racing Co., the only team without a junior team. They are an original single team in the league, in the JLV. Smalls and Quake, the double American outfit, both putting in 2 tokens to race today. So we'll see how that turns out, as they're going to be looking, of course, to snag some points, maybe in the middle, the top 5 area, maybe the top half of the 6 to 10 area, it looks like. That's what I would predict. WTech Starlight in this nice faded livery. Junior team to Trixie and Hazma's WTech and SLV. Hazma jumping in himself to race with Slippy, not putting any tokens in today. But they are out for a JLV campaign. BB Force Z, or Force Z, succeeding their speed upgrade today. Abver09 putting in, what is that? Is that 2? That is 2 tokens, and Pamucius putting in none. Coming in last minute to fill in, Bluebell Boys Force X, the senior team in the SLV. Flying Fox Racing, piloted by the iconic backmarker SL duo Fox and Mosca Brevis. Mosca dumping 4 tokens in today. They failed their turbo upgrade. And WTS, also failed their grip upgrade. Yorkshire Aerial Racing, owned by, of course, Jake Brad, the junior team, to BAR in SLV. They failed their acceleration upgrade. And Arcaniac just had a minor correction in the stat spending there. And we are ready to go. All right. Here we go. Watching Buddha start off to the lead using that boost down the stretch. Mosca Brevis out to an early lead. Buddha, Arcaniac, Kato. Big coin dumpers here. Arcaniac, however, only spending 2 with that speed, or that acceleration upgrade, working for IMP quite nicely. It is looking like it's going to come in handy, as these cars doing a lot of braking in these laps. Acceleration may be just as handy as speed at the beginning. Mosca Brevis draining that boost once again, looking to extend the lead on the lap times. A 33.7 to start. Yeah, that's looking real good. Abver with a 30.9. Also very nice. And then at the bottom end, we're looking at near 33-second laps. Mosca Brevis putting in a 30.2, even faster. That is going to be real tough to beat. Oh my goodness, 30.07 for Buddha. That is probably your pole right now. Kato with a 5.7. Excellent lap times there. And we'll look at Mosca on the final lap. 30.07. 29.88. Buda cannot beat it. And Mosca Brevis is going to take your pole position. Mosca Brevis and Buda from Fast are on the front row. 0.18 off the pace. Abver09 making his SL debut in the BBB Force Z. Kato for Evolve Racing in 4th. In 5th place, it's Quake TFA for DeMonk Racing. That's a value spend with only 2 tokens. Up into 5th spot, as there was only 4 drivers who finished ahead of him who spent more than 2 tokens. Alright, Celeste Lucier for Fast Racing. In 6th and 7th places, Arcaniac from Inferno Motorsports. Smalls in 8th for DeMonk. And UR2D Master snagging 9th spot for Scott Polotto. And F35 in the top 10 for EVO. In the bottom half, it's Arn the Andrian for Initiation Roja, just outside the top 10 and just outside the points, with no points spent, looking for some value-free points here in this debut race with very low spending. Pamucius for BBB Force Z in 12th. Zane spending 1 point, down in 13th. Going to like to change that position and get some value for his investment. Slippy in 14th for WTEC Starlight. Yorkshire Aerial Racing makes their first appearance on the list with Kurok 90 down in 15th. Matthew Scott Polotto in 16th. Yoshi Josh Initiation Roja in 17th. Fox down in 18th for Flying Fox. Hazma Tafole rounding it out for WTS and YAR. Investing nothing, no horses in this race in the early stages. Let us get to the action. And we are live in Buenos Aires. Making a break, it's Quake down the inside as Mosca and Buda are out to a good lead. And Kato drops down and Abver Celeste Lucier right off the track completely. And going to drop down as Arcaniac moves up and Smalls drifts back towards the rest of the pack. Of course, our big spenders in the top 4 are going to be expected to be finishing there. Arcaniac tries to work by Kato as the battle for the lead changes as Buda goes outside and Mosca takes it back inside for the first lap complete as Quake just charges up on those faster soft tires and he puts himself into 2nd place. Buda hanging around nicely there in 4th place with his investment of 4 points. He'll be looking for the win, no doubt. Mosca Brevis as well on the softs and Quake leading the way so far. Everybody else on the hards until F35 is spotted down there in the middle of the field with the mediums. People starting to line up and order out into the train to start this race. Mosca Brevis for Flying Fox leading the way. For the Canadian team, of course, the Canadian team Pappy Pops taking the title 1-2 in Challengers League just a day ago. Quake looking to close the gap, and we'll check quickly on the rest of the pack. Celeste investing 3 tokens, exactly where she ought to be. Right in that top 5 battle, but Arcaniac doing very well with his smaller investment of 2. Smalls working the hards, trying to work that slipstream and gain some time, conserving that boost till the middle section, the second hairpin of the track, and that back straightaway not too bad at all. UR2D Master looking very good here in 9th place, trying to get a value point out of his investment. F35 for EVO, rounding out your top 10. We have Slippy, the Andrian, now Zane, Tafole, and Yoshi Josh in a bit of a train down there. They want to keep fighting and keep relevant in this hunt. Although position is nice to have and beat some people, the points are only served to the top 10 as a reminder. As we look at our back markers chugging their way through this race, it's Mosca and Buda still battling up front. Quake has fallen off the pace a little bit now. For one reason or another, it's Mosca and Buda staying in the slipstream, looking to turn it on, having a look inside, but getting the door shut by Moscobrivas in that camo, trying to make himself disappear. Maybe Buddha didn't see him because he just rode right up into the back of him, and he's going to go for the pass now with the slipstream engaged and the tires in much better shape now as those softs are worn 6 laps in. We'll see if Mosca goes for the early pit. It would be wise as the grip is low, but no, he's going to stick it out for another lap, and he's probably going to lose out a bit on that strategy as Quake does take the pit. Probably the smarter idea as a little contact there between Abver, Celeste, and Cato there. I think Abver got pushed right off the track. No penalties given out though, as they're all on the same tires here. Celeste is trying to lose Cato, but can't shake him. And Abver trying to keep right in this race. Getting an excellent showing so far. Smaller investment from Abver, only spending 2 tokens, but lots to show for it, same as Arcaniac. Now Quake, on the fresh tires, puts himself out in 7th spot. Ahead of his teammates Smalls there, they're running in 7th and 8th. Arcaniac starting to lose out. Of course, Quake got the faster tires on through the hairpin section, and that's a true hairpin section. Looks exactly like one of those hair clips there. All right, around the final turn, and comfortably by as Quake. Arcaniac not being able to do much to stay in that slipstream, but there we have a over there. Over here we have a battle. Celeste, Lucier, trying to get by the lap traffic, but Moscobrivas just passes Cato, as they both have hard tires on, but Cato is dropping off, trying to stretch his stint into the end. Mosca on fresh ones, having started on the softs, already back up into 2nd. That's an excellent result for him, as Buddha is going to have to head into the pits soon. Let's see if Matthew gives him any problems on the lap traffic. There is clouds in the sky, so this could work out very, very well for Buddha if the rain decided to come anytime soon. Will he go one more lap just to see if rain might be on its way after the clouds? Yes, he will. So this could work out very, very well as Mosca gets by Fox, putting a lap on him. On the mediums, Fox is running down there in 18th position. Matthew slowing up Mosca, though, on the next turn, and it's going to return to Sun. So that is good news for Moscobrivas. Buddha definitely going to have to take a pit and lose the lead within the next lap or two. Right off the track there, you see that's definitely costing him some big time. Moscobrivas is going to have a chance to take the pass if Buddha doesn't take the pit, and he does not yet. So some drivers definitely trying to get value out of those tires, but with that grip sliding, the cost may outweigh the benefit, and that is a bigger cost, an entirely unattended delay as Buddha goes right in the back of Pimu and losing the lead to Mosca. It was inevitable, but nonetheless not a good way to do it. Quake now chasing down Kato on the soft tires once again. They're all getting a little bit slidey on this track. They do like to snip the grass. Kato goes in, and Quake's going to continue on. A couple more laps left on his softs. Now, a little bit further down the line, Celeste Lucier is about 3 seconds back, trying to put some space between her and Abver as Kato gets back out just in front. Oh, Abver also took the pit, as does Arcaniac. So that means F35 is momentarily going to be into 6th spot. And a nice little climb for him. Just with his 1 token spent, sitting in a very nice spot in the points right now. And a double point sitting for EVO. EVO, of course, Butterlord's team. He's racing as Floyd McLova Jr. in the Middle League CLV. With his VLO team not winning the championship last year, but hosting SLV Sunday League Virtual Champion Urist on their team. So following in the footsteps of the greats, Arcado and F35. Quake now working on the backfield, easily by Hazma and Kuruk. Looking at Matthew now, trying not to get caught up in any of this traffic, but almost pushes him, punts him off to the side of the track to close down the gap on Kato, who's working on Celeste Lucet as she tries to form a slipstream train with her teammate Buddha for the fast racing outfit. And the tires are going, which means Buddha's hards might be a little bit faster. It would be fantastic for her to get in one more lap in a slipstream with Buddha. I just don't think she's close enough. She is making it up on the stretch, on the straightaway though. And there we go. Celeste is going to be able to have a value lap behind Buddha if she's just able to stay. The grip is not there, but this looks like almost a pass attempt for Celeste. This could be very interesting. The two FFRs are now battling each other, slowing each other down. This is going to involve Kato's chances to get back in as Mosca Brivas pulls even further, nearly 7 seconds ahead, and she's staying out for even another lap. Oh my goodness. This is going to get right in the way of Buddha's plans. I think she probably should have pitted. Maybe she was waiting if rain would come out on the clouds. That's probably a smart gamble in the end, but you don't want to get away of your teammate when you're battling other cars to boot, lap traffic, and themselves. Celeste is now defending Buddha, the battle for second and third, and finally peels into the pits, and Buddha can get on with his race and take a slipstream from Yoshi Josh, who's down in 13th spot. Now, the clouds are out and Celeste is on fresh tires. What does this mean now for her? Well, she's lost position to Quake, and if the rain were to come now, it would be devastating. Quake would be perfectly okay with that, as his tires are starting to slide a little bit. Teammate Smalls going in for the pit in that bright pink and blue DeMonk Racing outfit. Out of the good old US of A, UR2D Master looking fine in 9th spot for Scott Pull Autos, only spending a single token and sitting in the points right now. That's not bad value for a debut rookie driver. The Andrian just outside of the points now, giving way to Buddha, who's now your leader as Mosca Brivas has taken for new tires. Not putting up much of a fight. And he takes a pit, does the master, and allows Mosca Brivas to go by just on the inside to resume his battle for the lead. No other battles really ensuing here except down here Karuk and Fox are duking it out for 18th spot as Buddha goes by them. Buddha just a second and a half ahead of Mosca Brivas, as there you see Mosca rounding the corner. He's now on the same straight as him, catching 190 ahead, 1.9 seconds ahead. And there goes Mosca past his teammate Fox. Not getting let up at all. Hazma just giving him a little bit of trouble. And Buddha now needs to work. Oh, Matthew ditched hard to the grass by Smalls. No love there as the rookie driver for Scott Pull sits in 17th spot. Buddha charges ahead and extends his lead on Mosca Brivas. Now 2.15 seconds over a lap. Looking at the best lap so far, 31.13 set by Mosca just recently, but the 30.4 from Buddha, 30.3. 2.7 from Celeste. There's Quake at 2.0. 30.20 seems to be the fastest lap for now, and that belongs to Quake. Taking a slipstream on Zane, who we have not seen much of at all this race, expected to maybe surprise us with a point, with a low investment, because Arcaniac was doing so well, but Arcaniac's dropped down to about 8th spot. The Inferno Motorsport having that successful acceleration upgrade, looking very well. Celeste, 5.5 seconds nearly behind Mosca. And teammate Buddha charging ahead, still 2 seconds ahead of the game, with 7 laps remaining. Battling Pamusha's trying not to get caught up. Mosca has really caught up now with much better tires. So it is going to be a strategy call, to say the least, to see who takes this initial Journeyman League virtual race. Buddha fighting off for one more lap, probably going to switch to a short, hard stint. Mosca may be taking these tires all the way to the end. We'll have to see. It looks to be that way. Buddha having only made one pit stop thus far. 2 sets of hard tires so far. It's going to be one soft to finish. He will definitely have the advantage. Celeste trying to extend the lead on Cato. Realistically catching up to 1 and 2. Not going to happen. Cato's got other problems on his hands, though, as Quake is pushing on those mediums. They will be faster, but will they last long enough to catch up to those hards and keep the grip? Celeste on for softs now, pulling out in 4th place. She's going to be charging hard to grab that podium back. Mosca Brevis since into the lead. And we know Buddha's got to get off those tires soon, but Mosca Brevis could do the same. Maybe an undercut could save the chances. If Mosca pit the same lap as Buddha, it would be a sprint to the finish. Mosca may take 1 lap more and do the overcut to try and have better softs to end the race, but there's only 4 laps to go. Let's see. Mosca stays out. Buddha comes in. Here we go. The race is on. Will Mosca take these hards to the end? We will see. Celeste Lucier starting to gain back the ground on Cato. Cato with fairly decent hards. That'll get him easily to the end of the race. We'll see if the gap will be closed at all. Definitely is closing. How fast is it closing? Probably fast enough, I would say. Celeste will catch him in the next couple laps. Buddha working on a 7-second deficit to Mosca Brevis in this debut race at Buenos Aires. We do have a check through the order. Fox in dead last, the opposite of his teammate. Hazma, Mathy, Kuruk, Pamushis, Tafole, just being passed by Buddha there, staying out of his way. Slippy. Oh, it's a beautiful fade on that WTS car. Some great liveries and designs this season in the JLV. Zane in a good battle with Yoshi Josh. Not for points, however, but a good battle nonetheless. And Mosca Brevis getting some trouble in that traffic as he's still on the hard tires. The Andrian 5 seconds and a half off the battle for the points. UR2D Master and Quake currently battling a lap apart from each other. Quake doing his best to get in the way of him, maybe helping out teammate Smalls, who's 10 seconds up, protecting those points. But here we go. Arcaniac pursuing Abver. A little bit further up, we have Quake pursuing Celeste, who has not yet caught Cato, and Mosca Brevis is bringing it home on the hards. Still almost 2 seconds ahead. Mosca Brevis for Flying Fox Racing is going to be home free and your very first Journeyman League virtual winner, as is Flying Fox Racing. Buddha taking it across in second. Cato still ahead of Celeste. It didn't pay off that gamble, and Quake going to take home a top 5 finish for Demonk Racing. Abver staying ahead of Arcaniac for 6th. So that's going to put the IMP into 7th spot. F35 grabbing a single point spend for 8th place. Great value. What a nice finish to that race. Some strategies gambled, but they didn't really pay off. Rating at the top 10 was Smalls, a double top 10 for Demonk. And Scott Pole Autos, URT Baster, hanging on for that final 10th position and point. 3 teams in the double points today, but the most important of them all, the green car, Mosca Brevis, setting a 16:34.12, which was Um, substantially quicker. I was going to say they raced less laps than the CLV. All right. Argentine for Initiation Roja just out of the points. That's going to be heartbreaking for Kamikaze's outfit there. Almost got a free point with no spending. Zane wastes 2 points on his 12th position finish for IMP. Slippy in 13th. Yoshi, Josh, the other Initiation Roja, in 14th. So their car looking good with that top speed, almost in the points, without having spending any skill tokens. So I think that's a promising start for the INR team. Toffole for YAR in 15th. In 16th is Pimu for BFZ. Karuk in 17th. Fox, 18th spot. And Matthew and Hazma rounding out 19th and 20th. The real winners today, definitely Mosca Brevis and Buddha with their 4-point spends taking home. Kato spending 4 but only grabbing 3rd spot. That's going to be a little bit disappointing for him. But Celeste in a fairly decent 4th place finish for 3 points spent. And of course, Quake getting the deal of the day. 5th place for 2 points.